We are live. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. 10 p.m. Eastern, late night news with Gokhshtein Media. I am Alexander. We have Erica also here. We're going to be talking about some hot topics, crypto, breaking it down for you guys. Again, weeknights, 10 p.m. Eastern. We're going to jump right into it.
Let's do it.
Excellent. So, a lot of juicy news tonight. How are you feeling, Erica? How are you feeling on
I'm
this
feeling
beautiful
great.
night?
It's Friday. It's my favorite day of the week. I'm doing the news with you, so that's always good. And yeah, there's a lot of things going on in the crypto sphere that we can talk about today. So we definitely have a lot to cover.
Absolutely. So, a lot of exciting stuff. One thing we'll dive into later in the video was a Microsoft announcement. It was kind of a first thing, but kind of got it arranged for you guys in a sequence. We'll talk about some bullish, some exciting stuff, and then kind of some more skeptical. You know, you're always going to have your double dose of the news. So let's just jump right into it. I'm going to be sharing my screen here. So first topic here, let's bring up, you guys can see that. So let's take a look here. Sorry guys, bear with me as I get myself accustomed to this Mac. Let's try that one more time. Okay, you guys see it on the screen?
Yep.
Pro Ripple lawyer Jeremy Hogan says the SEC's grasp on the crypto market looks to be slipping away. He highlights the regulator for hindering the lawsuit and avoiding authenticating requested videos of SEC employees. So that was interesting. That is something that brings to question, like, what's the SEC doing? Like, what are you guys up to? Are you guys shirking away from responsibility? I like to see these lawyers like step up and give their 2 cents. What do you think about that?
Yeah, it's interesting that, the grasp on the crypto market is slipping away, but a lot of people would argue that they never really had it and Ripple has this lawsuit in the bag. So
Yeah,
I guess it depends on who you talk to, but yeah, it's interesting and I guess we'll have to see. I don't know exactly what that means just because they requested avoiding authenticating the videos of the SEC employees, but do the videos really make the case? I don't know.
yeah, we'll have to see. But my gut feeling is feeling good about this case, and I think it's gonna end well. Who really knows? But we will wait and see. Like Drake says, time is revealing. We'll see what happens. So
Yes.
let's jump into the next bullish topic. This was crazy. For the first time, guys, Microsoft gives a grant to Web3 blockchain-based game Star Heroes. Crazy cool game. I really want to look more into this third-person action, granting access to Ubisoft, Microsoft Studios, and Azure PlayFab. And what is Azure PlayFab? Well, that actually is a whole like ecosystem for building on the cloud, building a game, tons of assets, a whole skew of stuff. This doesn't do it justice. So they're going to be among legends like for Forza Horizon, Sea of Thieves, Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege. So this is huge. This is big. So Microsoft really getting their feet wet with gaming, I think, is a great thing. Of course, we saw the controversy with World Token, and they're like, "Oh, Minecraft, no," and so we'll see what happens. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, anything that moves the gaming space forward, I'm obviously a fan of. And so I think it's super bullish. I mean, Microsoft is obviously a huge entity. And so them joining and just, I think that they are realizing that this is something like it's not a matter of, they are or are not going to do it. It's a matter of when and how much they want to put into it. And are they going to want to be one of the first ones in the space? They're a little late to that party, but at the same time, for just a huge entity like that to say like, okay, like let's move forward, that's amazing news. So
I
I'm
agree.
bullish about that, especially Microsoft, because it's not just console games. So it's PC games, which is a lot of what blockchains are. So that to me is really great. And I think that anytime that we see a big entity like that come in with all of their gaming studios, their AAA gaming studios, it's great for the space because it just further evolves what everybody else can do. You know, they're going to discover and come up with new technology to make blockchains better,
Yep.
blockchain games better. So yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, I can tell you're definitely enthusiastic about it. And as a
Yeah.
gamer myself, I had the Super Nintendo, the Nintendo 64, the GameCube, the OG Xbox, the Hunky Chunk. So I saw this whole development, and Microsoft is really going that way with cloud and buying Minecraft and the innovation and the resources. I think that's key. The resources that they'll be able to tap into for these developers, I think that's going to be priceless. So we'll keep our eyes peeled. Stay connected with Gokhshtein Media. We are the people's news, the community's news. We keep it unfiltered, raw, real. And let's continue on to some more interesting, tasty news. There's a piece coming out, allegations, okay? It's always interesting when I hear allegations. Allegations of money laundering on exchange Wazir X. Sounds like some crazy villain. I mean, I'm not making some accusations here, but like that's an interesting name.
Yeah.
This concerned CZ from Binance, founder and CEO, due to incorrect reporting. So essentially, some people were thinking that Binance had a stake in it, that they were involved. CZ clarifies that Binance owns zero equity in Zammai Labs, which is the entity operating WazirX, founders, the original people in there. So, yeah, it's interesting. I would say from me personally, I think that there's always going to be controversy. There's always going to be a rumor mill, but it's good for people to step up and say, hey, we have no involvement. And he further said that, like, hey, we will be ready to submit anything to law enforcement, help out. So I think that's good. Transparency.
Yeah, yeah. And Binance, like in my book, Binance is one of the trusted exchanges. I think
Hmm.
when he says like we don't have any involvement, I really honestly believe that.
Yeah.
And I sorry about that, guys. So yeah, I honestly believe that they wouldn't have any
Is that
involvement.
CZ? CZ's calling.
Yeah. Oh, hey,
Hey.
Susie. Yeah, I just plugged
Yeah.
you on the news. Woo! Yeah, he
I was
was so
trying to find. Hey, he
excited.
wasn't at Austin, Texas, so
I hung up on
maybe one
him.
day
I'll
I'll
tell
find
him
him.
back. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Give him a call back. Let him know Alexander's looking for him. Hop in the spaces. 9:30 a.m. Eastern.
Yeah.
So let's jump into another topic here. Exciting one about Tiffany and Co. It was regarding their NFT sale. So let's share that screen. NFT and Co. sells out collection of 250 NFTIF, priced at 30 Ethereum each, calculating at about 12.5 million. This was done in like under 48 hours. So to anyone who doubted this, like Gokhshtein Media, like DJ Khaled, maybe he'll be part of Gokhshtein. We gotta ask David at one point.
Yeah.
12.5 million. Okay, let's jump back here. 12.5 million dollars in under 2 days. They just killed it. They smashed it. Great marketing for them. They didn't have to do advertisement, do an NFT announcement, and they say to keep an eye out for their next mint. So, I mean, like DJ Khaled says, you played yourself, right? Like, don't
Yeah.
doubt them. Don't doubt them. It wasn't like Chevrolet, and it wasn't like some of the other ones that maybe people weren't that interested in. But even
Yeah.
me, I didn't even know what the company was, and I'm like, Tiffany and Co. Oh, what else do
You
they
didn't know
do?
what
And
Tiffany was?
no, that's how out of touch I am. So, like,
Maybe it's because I'm a girl, I
but it's good
mean,
marketing, because it's
it
like
is.
pulling in
Yeah.
people who have no idea. And David was talking about that, bringing them in and creating exposure. So, I mean, and them, like, what do you think about this?
Yeah, I mean, Tiffany is one of those trusted jewelry brands who has been around forever. And I mean, that little like blue periwinkle box is just, it's iconic, is what it is. And so
I
if
see.
I had a crypto punk and I had 30 ETH, would I get one? Hell yes.
Yeah, yeah.
And the reason is because it's not just an NFT, but it's a really nice crypto punk necklace. Now, whether or not that's your style, the thing is like, even if you get one and then a couple years down the road, you need a little bit of liquidity, you're going to be able to sell that because it's like,
Hmm.
it's like a Rolex. It's not going to lose its value. So yeah,
Absolutely.
I'm not surprised that they sold out at all.
Absolutely. Yeah, you bring up a good point. The involvement, CryptoPunks, Timeless Piece, right? Kind of becomes a collection at that point. You're a collector's item.
Yeah.
Let's talk about some spiciness. I always like my
Ooh.
spice.
Yeah,
I
me
like my
too.
spice. Let's start with this one. Hey, it jumped on here. So the court authorizes Voyager to return 270 million to customers. So I think this is good for accountability. Hopefully, people can get their losses. They can get some of their money back. I don't know. Any 2 cents on that? I mean, I'm all for people getting like their money back, but I don't know if people are going to recover everything. It
Yeah,
is
I
what it
mean,
is.
it looks better for Voyager people who had their money frozen versus people who have their money in Celsius. I
Yeah.
mean, I honestly really don't think that anybody who has money in Celsius is going to get anything back. I hate to say it,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
Voyager, I mean, that's a big up for people. I mean, I think it's going to give people hope. Not your keys, not your crypto, not your
Yeah.
keys, not your crypto.
It
Like, how
sounds
many
it,
times do
it
we have to say it?
and it's become like a meme, but it's like even it
Yeah.
becomes advice for ourselves too, because like we never know. At one point I was almost gonna put my funds on Celsius, and now I think back, I'm like, ooh, like I was pulled in by the charm of Alex Mashinsky. And so sometimes we
Yeah.
got to really be careful, especially it's a global exchanges. And like even when it comes to like class action lawsuits, I couldn't even involve myself in the Terra Luna one. So even though I had losses there, can't do it. So
Mhm.
just be careful on them streets.
Yep,
Crazy
exactly.
times that we're in. So
I
let's
know.
jump.
And I hope that, it sucks to have to like learn from L's, but
Yeah,
if it teaches anybody one thing, it's to be super careful. And,
be
if you don't
vigilant
have
in
your
this
keys,
space.
yep, if you don't have your keys, there's a chance that you might lose it. So,
Absolutely, yeah, exactly. It's a risk at the end of the day. So let's
mhm.
jump into another piece here, kind of relevant to this. Nomad recovers 22.4 million after hackers drained 190 million. So a little over like 10%. Nice little promo code there. The team announced they will pay a 10% reward to those who return tokens. So it's good that they've recovered some. It's always interesting when we see money coming back, keeping the money, washing it, tornado cash, things of that nature.
Yeah.
So I'm all for white hat hacking. Like I'm all for
Mhm.
bug busting, like bug bounties and things like that. But I hate to see people just get drained of their funds due to like bad code or bridge exploits or things like that. So it's just the nature of what we're in, right? It's just
Yeah.
so young and so many things. It's like you wake up another day. It's like if I had $1 for all these hacks, if for every hack I had $1, I'd be a billionaire at one point. At this point,
Seriously. It's
it's
like
crazy.
every single day. David was saying the other day, like, all right,
It's
hackers,
tiring. It's tiring.
just let
Another
us
day.
breathe.
Yeah,
Like,
and it's like I'm tired of
okay.
reporting on these hacks. Sometimes it's
Yeah.
like another hack. Okay, what else? It's become like a meme.
Yeah.
Again, like my empathy goes out. I hope people can recover their funds, whoever's involved in stuff like that. But it just becomes like dry news, really. It just becomes tough.
Hmm.
So
Yep.
let's talk about a little bit more controversial topics, and we'll uh, wrap up. So Coinbase sued again, Chapter 2. Two plaintiffs claim the company made fraudulent and misleading statements about its business. So, another lawsuit. It is what it is at the end of the day. I would say that big companies are going to get sued left and right. I'm not really too concerned about, like, if there's anything that the XRP team has shown me is that a good project can go under the scalpel, the scrutiny,
Hmm.
whether it's lawsuit from other people or government, and they can still prevail and they can still go on. Business still
Yeah.
goes on.
Exactly. Exactly. And it's Coinbase. I mean, they've got a gang of lawyers. So, if anything, they'll
Yeah,
probably like settle out of court. I didn't actually read that article, so I'm not sure if it says who sued them. But I'm sure that that'll come out in the wash. Oh, New York, Brager and Eagle. Oh, yep. Okay, there we go. Brager and Eagle Squire revealed that it would be suing Coinbase for making deceptive claims about its business practices. Um, I haven't heard of them. I don't know what Coinbase would be like saying, or when they would have
Hmm.
said it, but I can't imagine what that would entail. But then there was also a leak that reveals that the SEC, in relation to Coinbase, the SEC has opened a case on every crypto exchange, not just Coinbase. So like
Yep.
everybody better watch out, because the SEC evidently is just coming for everybody. So be on your best behavior. If you've done anything bad, yeah, karma.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that was the one piece I was going to bring up that you mentioned there, is that, they're keeping an eye out. And so you just got to be careful at the end of the day. The one last thing that we had was, of course, Near Protocol. And I'll share my screen here. So Near Protocol, just regarding some more exploit action, breach action. Near Protocol reveals there was a third-party data breach in June. SMS and email data was leaked, but Near says it resolved the issue before any damage was done. Now, the reason why this is controversial is because it happened, it was fixed, but then this week they start talking about it. So, how many companies are occulting, hiding it to not panic their customers, but, issues were happening. And that's something that needs to come to awareness. If anything, lately, wallets that might not be trustworthy, that are prone to bugs, but also exchanges that are doing shady stuff, or protocols that have problems that maybe reveal much later after the damage was done for whatever reason. So
Yeah,
interesting.
definitely. Speaking of SMS and SIM card hacking, which is huge, one thing, like a little security tidbit to share, is that you can call your phone company and set a PIN on your SIM card, which is just kind of like another added a little bit of security. So I need to like put my actions where my words are, because I've been meaning to do it for a week, but tomorrow I'm actually going to do it, because that scares the hell out of me. That's like one thing, like if that happens to you, man, like from what I've heard, it sounds like you're screwed. So,
It's a good segue into security. I love trying to maximize security. Of course, we can never be 100% safe, but we can do a good job at like risk mitigation. And there's been many people who have, suffered millions of dollar losses from things like SIM swap. And if you're fresh to that, definitely go do your research, check it out. There's many great resources on YouTube, but I highly advise people to use authentication like Microsoft Authenticator, Google Authenticator, because all it takes is someone to call up your phone provider, bribe them, pretend to be you, and you don't want to leave your hard-earned money at a risk like that, a backdoor like that. This in TLDR, put yourself in the shoes of the hacker. How would he get into your account? Open an incognito tab, try to hack your account, try to recover the password, do everything you can as if you were a hacker, and that way you can kind of guide yourself, because we'd be surprised. We don't want to wait too late when passwords have been revealed and information's been leaked, especially in this digital age. It's like we wake up and it's just bikini bottom. At this point I would trust like Mr. Krabs, the Krusty Krab with my keys, Patrick and SpongeBob with my keys. It's like, who's gonna do a better job? Do Kwon,
Squidward.
Alex
I think
Mashinsky?
Squidward would be my go-to, but
I think you're right. He'd probably throw my keys in the clarinet. No one's gonna find it. You're right. So overall market is I think we've had a little bit of a bounce back. We still are kind of just hovering around that, looking at some prices here. Just chilling. Bitcoin dancing around 23K, 23.2K. So we'll see. And BNB has been kind of holding its own, 7% plus over 7 day. And so we're going to see what happens. I think towards, not financial advice, of course, nothing on this, on Gokhshtein's financial advice. But I think we are headed towards some positive trajectory, hopefully.
Yeah. And for anybody who missed it, Ross McDonald did a great market update today. So he's
100%.
starting to do that every single Friday at, I believe it's 5:00 Eastern. And so he does a great job of breaking down what some of like the lines on, your market trend, market watch, some of like the MA line. So he's really, really good at educating people. I actually learned a lot from him today. So definitely check that out. You can find that on the main G Media page, of course.
Absolutely. And that's pretty much a wrap, guys. A lot of great developments. I think great takeaway from this was the Microsoft deal really excited me.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's like, okay, a hack there, and
Yeah.
the
The
show
bad
goes
news,
on.
but a little bit of good sprinkled in.
Yeah, yeah. A little bit of salt, a little bit of sugar.
Yep.
You got that balance. So, yeah, guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in for Late Night News with Gokhshtein Media. I'm Alexander, aka Crypto Camel. We have Erica, who does the amazing show on Gokhshtein, also Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern. Tons of great on-chain gaming, great great guests. Something's taken over my body. Maybe it's Do Kwon. And stay tuned because, of course, like she said, Friday nights, 5 p.m. Eastern with Ross, the great technical analysis, and of course, tons of stuff going on. Stay tuned. Monthly giveaways. This month, we're giving away ApeCoin. That's still ongoing, so check that out. And Futurist, before we wrap up, Futurist is coming up, guys, August 9th and 10th. Myself, Ross, Akil, Carlos will be there. Kat is scratching the door. She wants to escape. And that's a wrap. So we'll see you guys on Monday Late Night News, weeknights at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific. Until then, stay safe, do your own research, not financial advice, and we'll see you soon.
Yeah. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great weekend.
Thank you, guys.